doing well. For those of you who have been subscribed to me for years, you'll probably recognize this background. This is my high school bedroom. So I'm home for Christmas break. Finals are done, presentations are done. The first semester of grad school is officially over, so I can finally take a breath and relax. Actually, that's not true. I don't know why I said that. If you noticed, I'm wearing business professional right now because I have a Skype interview in a few hours for an internship, so hopefully that goes well. And I do just want to thank all of you guys for your well wishes on Twitter and Instagram about my finals and school. As you can tell, I was pretty stressed out, but overall I think it went well. I would also be interested to hear if you guys have horror stories for interviews, just in terms of crazy questions you might have been asked, because especially if this interview ends up going tits up, I'd like to hear some horror stories from you guys. But either way, I always think those are interesting. So I have about 7 books I think here that I really want to get into. I know some people can read 7 books in a week, but 7 books in the next 2 to 3 weeks is a lot for me, so let's go ahead and get into them. So first is Daughter of the Blood by Anne Bishop. This is an adult, I think this is adult even though the protagonist is 12, because it's quite adult considering the content and I'm only 40 pages in. But this is a fantasy novel where gender roles are reversed sexually and politically, so the women are the ones in power. But a young girl who's only 12 in this ends up becoming the most powerful one in the realm. I'm not sure what the world is referred to as, so 3 men end up kind of vying for her attention. I'm pretty sure I've read that they're kind of sexually attracted to her and she's 12, so I'm not sure how that's gonna play out. Next, I'm definitely going to be finishing the Lock and Key series by Joe Hill really soon. I just finished Omega, which I think is the 6th volume, and I'm pretty sure there's only 7, although correct me if I'm wrong. So I'm sure in the next couple days I'll go ahead and finish that, and let me know if you'd like to see a review of this series, a spoiler-free one. I know there are just so many on BookTube. Then as an audiobook, I'm listening to The Awakening by Kate Chopin. This is a classic from it's either late 1800s or early 1900s, about a woman who, let's just say, is not enjoying her marriage, so she seeks out fulfillment from other men or one man, I'm not sure at this point. But if you do want to hear more about the app that I'm listening to all these audiobooks on, then if you go maybe 8 posts back on my Instagram, I have a picture of the app and the name of it, because here it just says audiobooks, but I know there's a different name for it. But it's all classics, they're all free, fuck Audible. I'm just kidding at that last part, but Audible's pretty pricey, I think. But so for those of us who can't afford Audible and want to start reading some more classics, go ahead and check that out. Then I am hoping to get into The Blind Assassin by Margaret Atwood. I adore The Handmaid's Tale, but I still for some reason have not read anything else by her. I know that Max of Well Done Books and Jenny of Adultish Books are both having a readathon for this throughout this month. Unfortunately, I've heard from a few different people that this isn't the most engaging book, especially by Margaret Atwood. So I don't know, I'm a little reticent now to go ahead and get into it, just because I do want to take this month to just be reading books that I know I'm going to absolutely just devour. So let me know if you have read this and whether or not you liked it, and that will kind of probably base whether or not I go ahead and read that this month. Then we have a book that I was sent for a review a few months back, and that is The Ice Twins by S.K. Tremaine. This is a psychological thriller about parents who have 2 daughters who are twins, and I think it's one dies and then the other one starts saying that she's actually the one who died / disappeared. It's been a while since I've read the summary on the inside of the flap, but I have heard pretty good things about this, and I'm always trying to find new psychological thrillers to recommend to you guys, since I know a lot of you guys like psychological thrillers just as much as I do. The next couple I don't have physically on me. In the thumbnail that I already took, I just held the number of books that I'm going to be talking about, but I didn't actually have all of them to hold. Does anybody else do that? Tell me I'm not the only one. But the first one is Uprooted by Naomi Novelle, but this is the young adult fantasy where every 10 years a village gives away a girl who's probably 16. Aren't they always 16 when things like this happen? To a dragon who's apparently not a dragon, he's just a wizard, and that's kind of their sacrifice that they give to him. And according to the inside flap, I can't pronounce this girl's name, I'll put it here, but that girl is assuming that this other girl who's very beautiful will be the one who ends up being taken, but he chooses this girl instead. If I'm honest with you guys, it's been a long time since I've read a young adult book that I've really liked. It's been a while. It's just every single one I pick up has the same tropes, the same themes. It feels like it's the same protagonist in a different body. But I've heard such good things about this. I'm really hoping I'll like it. One thing I'm really hoping happens, because according to the little blurb, the main girl is not very attractive. I'm hoping that this isn't one of those cases because it feels like every young adult female protagonist is the same quiet, virginal girl who doesn't realize how beautiful she is, and then one day she realizes it, but every single male in the book is attracted to her. I'm just really hoping in this case it's a strong female who maybe isn't that good looking, but she doesn't give a shit because she knows it doesn't actually matter. So I'm hoping that's one trope that ends up getting scraped away in this book. Don't let me know if that ends up being the case or not. I don't want to be spoiled. Even if that does end up being the case, that's not to say I won't like the book, obviously. But I do have really high hopes for this, so hopefully it meets them. And finally is Eileen by Otessa Mostref. This is a psychological thriller that I've been excited to read for such a long time. I don't have this one because this is the one that's still on hold at the library. Uprooted is there waiting for me, but I'm just waiting for Eileen to come in so I can go ahead and grab both. But Eileen takes place in the 1960s, and the disturbed young woman is the secretary at a boys' prison, and she ends up being kind of dragged into a crime that occurs. I'm not sure what the crime is, but I feel as if, you know how it seems every book these days on the cover says, if you like Gone Girl, you'll like Pride and Prejudice. Well, this is one of those cases where I think if you liked Gillian Flynn, I'm hoping I can say you'll end up liking Eileen. I have very high hopes for this. People who I really trust have said this is just fantastic and that I'll probably like it. So this out of all of them is probably the one I'm most excited about. So that is my TBR for my Christmas or winter break. Let me know if there are any other books that I should be checking out, because by the time this video goes up, I probably still will not have gone to the library yet. So if there's anything else I didn't mention here you'd like to see me review, make sure to go ahead and let me know down below. I think for a lot of people, they're finishing up finals this week, so good luck to those of you who are. Start studying the second this video ends, and I will see you guys soon.